one thing that public servants must understand when they are on interviews with mainstream media or media for that matter is that the questions that they are being asked on our behalf, because these are the questions that we are asking. And since we don't have the opportunity to ask you these questions in person, that is why the media is there to ask these questions on our behalf, because that is what's residing in our minds. So now when you are a public rep or a public servant and you need to account, and then you use tactics to run away from accountability. Just yesterday, I dropped a video about the term sub judice rule in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. And it was emphatically stated by Madlanga himself and the spokesperson, Jeremy Michaels, and Matthew Chaskelson said that the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, it does not have sub judice status. People, once they have testified, this can be discussed, whether in parliament, can be discussed on media, or anybody that wants to talk about this, they can. And accounting officers themselves, if they are asked questions about the allegations that were made by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, you can speak on that because there is no sub judice rule. Now tell me why that the mayor of Ekurhuleni, being as evasive as he was, I mean, it's not surprising. There was a bit of a confusion which political party that he comes from. This is where he's coming from. Does that surprise you? Yeah, because the answers that he was giving in the interview, I'm going to show you right now. And thank you so much to Dineo right here. Please go do subscribe to her channel. Get as far as you can, because this is a voice we need on these streets, and many that do what we do here, because at the end of the day, we need to hold these people accountable. And it's becoming quite clear as well that they do watch our YouTube channels and they get ideas, some of them. I mean, I've heard some of them regurgitate what we say on our YouTube channels. I'm not claiming that they watch my channel. I don't know. Even if they do, I don't care. They can regurgitate all they want. But the point that I'm trying to make here, he was so evasive, and I picked up a number of things that we are going to talk about. But here's the first one, the sub judice rule, because it's running away from accounting. Hit it.
So the question, maybe I must rephrase it. Are there still rogue elements that you need to deal with? Are more people going to get suspended? Because EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi only got suspended after he appeared at the Madlanga Commission.
Of course, there was
so all this time, I mean, did you not pick up a problem there?
Of course, there was a pushback. There was a
pushback from who?
Well, I don't want to go into deeper to what is before the commission, because the commission is still in session. One person can argue that it is sub judice for me because I don't want to bring a commission here. But what is important is that all those that have been concealing, those that have been covering up, those that compromised the DC process in 2003, we've now put up a mechanism internal in terms of our governance structure, so that all the issues that gets to be revealed, we put them into our own internal system, so that we then have a necessary documentation to act. And we have acted and acted decisively. We continue to act. I mean, it's not just Julius Mkhwanazi who's on suspension. And possible, I have now told the accounting officer to say, look into the latest revelations, because we suspended him. This is taking place, but we must also look what other mechanism, because whatever that revelation that is happening before, we must then put it in the internal process and say, CM, look into this issue. The head of legal services has actually been put on suspension. On Friday, we met with the IPIT, the independent investigation of the police. We met with them. And we've agreed on certain measures that we need to do to bring IPT closer. And we're busy with those processes, and I'm sure by Monday, once all the documentations are finalized, we will then announce what type of a measure to ensure that the internal affairs that must look into the conduct of the EMPD is strengthened, is not compromised. I've made an announcement that I'm putting capacity in my office in terms of security advisory, but importantly, we are putting in place a commissioner of integrity to actually ensure that we strengthen the compromised internal control.
Well, let's hear what the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry lead investigator, what do you call this, evidence leader, Matthew Chalskerson, say about that.
So the first question that I have relates to the issue of sub judice, and the answer again there is clear. Nothing we do makes anything sub judice.
So you see, because this individual comes from, and this is the type of response that you are going to keep getting. And then, of course, the second thing that I came to note in this interview, him running away once again.
The Commission has been able to unearth the rot to some extent, and you, as the Mayor, are going to ensure that more people are investigated and suspended. Because, for example, Mkhwanazi's actions, whether they are true or not, he can't act on his own. There are clearly other people part of whatever happened. So that's the basis of my question is, are more people going to be suspended?
I'm saying the commission comes at a time where we've also been battling, to unearth some of these things, because...
But I don't understand how you're battling, Mayor. Who suspends people? Who calls for people's suspension? Is it not you?
Well, the mayor does...
Are you not the authority
the mayor plays oversight. There are legislation that regulates, the discipline of junior officials, those that are below the city manager. The city manager is accountable then to council. And I don't want to enter there.
So was the previous city manager not allowing for investigations? Are you saying that?
All what I'm saying is that there's a commission. I don't want to bring the commission here. Let's allow the commission to do its work. But what is important is that those that gets all the revelations, we're putting them into the internal governance systems so that we're able to act, because our community is the one to know, are we acting, so that we do not even wait for the commission to conclude. We are waiting now for the preliminary report to come out, and our communities are saying, please ensure that you implement or you put corrective measures, corrective actions without fear or favor. Okay. And that is what we're doing.
So, yes or no, more people will be suspended?
Certainly. I mean, certainly. I mean, for the DC process of 2023 to be compromised and be abruptly abandoned, it means they were collaborators.
The mayor is running away from the fact that Ekurhuleni has been on autopilot for a long time. As a mayor and as an oversight authority that is also an accounting officer in that aspect, was sleeping on the job. Hence, he sounds nervous. I don't know if you're paying attention to how nervous he's sounding, and he's also twitching and turning on that chair. Not because it is hot, it is because he just realized that what accountability is all about. And this is something they are not used to, guys. Accountability by our public servants and public representatives is a foreign language. And that is why you are seeing twitching and turning and speaking a whole of nothing. Because tell me, what do you understand by what he just said? Tell me, what did you pick up from there? Exactly. And then the third thing that I picked up from this mayor.
I have to ask you three very important questions. I have it on good authority that Ms. Mashazi was arriving at work in a Bentley. Were you aware of that?
Well, I don't watch people, what cars they're driving. There is cars that are provided as part of the VIP.
Certainly not a Bentley, Mayor. There is no way that a city manager of Ekurhuleni can afford a Bentley that you were providing as cars, part of your fleet.
I've not seen a Bentley. I've seen our fleet that includes largely is a BMW.
So you've never seen the city manager or the former city manager, Ms. Mashazi, arriving at work in a Bentley?
Well, let me put it this way. I have never seen it. We sit on different buildings. There's a headquarters on the other side, administrative building. There's a council chamber where the mayor sits.
He is running away from the fact that he is the mayor of Ekurhuleni. Mayor. This is an equivalent of being a state president, but at a local government level. So you would think that there are intelligence that will go to the mayor and say, hey, mayor, the city manager is actually putting your office and the entire city into disrepute. She comes to the office driven in Bentley. And then intelligence supposed to. So where is the intelligence in the city of Ekurhuleni? Where is it? Do you have it? Why don't you have it? Because look at the the city that you are governing. It's in tatters because you are aloof, mayor. Aloof. But then again, aloofness and ANC, they're married to each other because you are so detached to the realities of the people on the ground that you claim to care about. Your city manager was coming to work in a Bentley. That puts the city into disrepute because you say, well, we provide BMWs. That's true. They do provide transportation for the city, but I think even security as well. And I was quite surprised to hear from her that her security detail made up of 8 people. 8 people. For what? You're just a city manager. What exactly could be so dangerous for you out there? What threat could it be out there? Because most of the time, I mean, if I can ask any citizen of any town or city in this country, who is your city manager? You'll be scratching your head. You'll be like, so why would then we be interested in threatening somebody we don't know actually exists? And many people didn't even know there's such a thing as a city manager. 8 people. And this, once again, falls to the mayor's lap that is running away from that. Oh, no. I don't look at anybody that comes to the office. Our offices are in 2 different places. But you got intelligence. Don't you? Why don't you? Interesting. The 4th thing that I picked up from this mayor. He gets asked about Marius van der Merwe, who unfortunately was unalived after 3 weeks. He was at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry as witness D, and he dropped bombshells with names attached to it. And of course, he was gunned down at his home while he was trying to open a gate in front of his family. And the man runs away once again.
Mayor, given what we saw with witness D, Marius van der Merwe being gunned down outside his home yesterday, he was critical in terms of exposing some of the rot within Ekurhuleni. He's killed.
Yeah, that is why I just indicated to you that on Friday we had a meeting with IPID, which is an independent investigating directorate from SAPS. And we've actually invited them to come and work with us much more closer. Areas of collaborations, they have been identified. And once all the processes have actually been signed off, I'm sure by Monday, we'll actually be announcing what needs to happen. Because I don't have sitting a full capacity to even look at the VIP section of the EMPD that even provides the protection to the mayor. So the situation, it is a compromise, and it does need a swift and decisive action, and that's what we're doing.
He's speaking a whole lot of gibberish, and again, typical ANC response. Oh, we're going to go into this, and this is what we're going to do. Well, how about action? Ever heard of action? Because these guys, they love talk shops. The more you are stuck in a talk shop, crime is going on out there. One thing that I loved what Dineo said, Rules and Rulers by D. She said, while y'all are busy writing and scribing policies, criminals are taking action. They don't sit in a talk shop and talk the whole night. Yeah, they just come, probably, I don't know, I've never been a criminal, whatever, but I'm sure there's a strategy. But that strategy does not last more than 2 hours and then they're out there. Kaboom. And then y'all still want to sit down and then argue because you all come from different political parties, ANC, EFF, AIC, and whoever else that voted this mayor. Once again, like just the city of Johannesburg, the ANC was rejected by people or the citizens of Ekurhuleni. But AIC, EFF, and I'm not sure who's the third one, that said, come, we'll dump the ANC down the Ekurhuleni citizens' throats. And that is why now we have what we have. I've said this before. Pay attention, do not be distracted, and most importantly, don't forget. The reason why he is running away with all of this, because he's running away from responsibility and is using the sub judice rule in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry that does not exist. And yet, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry told South Africans this. And then he's relying on that fact that, they've forgotten, and I'm just going to say, it's a process that is in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, don't bring it here. No, we are asking because the citizens of Ekurhuleni want answers. So we are going to bring the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry into that interview. And I must give it up to the interviewer. For the longest time, the mainstream media has been questionable. How they interview their subjects and also the conduct of the mainstream media. But this journalist, she held it down. That's how you do it. You don't give a chance to somebody that is supposed to be held accountable to whine and whine. You ask, get into their mouth until they respond, because that's the question that we are asking. People that voted for you need answers. So when you want to start strategizing how I'm going to get my way out of this, no. The journalist was on point, no giving of chances, because you know how sometimes they're like, give me a chance. No. Answer the question and there'll be no interruption. Now, my last point on this video is the witness protection. Hit this video.
On the question of witness protection, the terms of reference are quite unique in that it requires the Commission to provide witness protection. And so to that extent, we have taken lessons from the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, the Zondo Commission as it is commonly known. So we've taken those lessons, but given the unique nature of this commission, which has within its sights, within the terms of reference, some of the very state entities which are charged with responsibility for witness protection. So we are innovating, and we are not going to discuss those details in public precisely because it deals with witness protection, and their safety is sacrosanct. So unfortunately, we are not able to get into that detail, but we hope that that gives you, members of the media, and the public a sense of our approach to dealing with this very sensitive matter, security-related matter.
Okay, Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, what happened? How did that go? Because I don't know if you listened to the spokesperson of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, Jeremy Michaels. He said a whole bunch of nothing when it came to the witness protection. A whole lot of nothing. What is he saying? And look where we are now. One of your key witnesses is no more because of the gibberish that was being said by Jeremy Michaels. So the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry needs to take accountability for the death of Marius van der Merwe. On this one, I am sorry. I love the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. I respect everything they've done thus far. But this one, they dropped the ball. A man's life has been taken. And it's not enough when the president says, clearly the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry upsetted a certain part of our society. Why are they even part of our society to begin with? Let's start there. Again, all of this can be fixed by you when you go to the ballot paper in the local government elections 2026. Again, the people that put this mayor in the city of Ekurhuleni, of course the ANC itself, economic freedom fighters, AIC, find out which other political parties that voted for this mayor. And then when you go to the ballot paper, don't make the same mistake. Do not make the same mistake. You are not being served because people are sleeping on the job. We're now in this situation because people are sleeping on the job. And I suggest, and I would love to recommend, I don't know to whom, that a separate commission of inquiry that is going to look into all the South African local government. Why is there rot in those municipalities and metros? Why people are not being served in those local governments? I would love if the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry concludes, then Madlanga Commission once again take up this particular challenge. And let's do that. Because it's not just the city of Ekurhuleni. eThekwini is rotten to the core. Johannesburg, oh my gosh, decayed beyond recognition. So I don't know. Again, it's in your hands as the citizens of your respective cities. In your hands. That is why you need to demand for people born in your cities, grew up there, or at least they've been there since they were kids. Because most of these people that you are electing, they come from outside. And that is why they use this position when they are elected as mayors and councillors. They treat it as a job, like, I bendiye goli or bendiye goli gofuna umsebenzi, and ended up a mayor. And then the money that they earn, it goes home where they come from. So you are just a job opportunity for them. But if it's a native, or at least somebody that grew up as a kid in that city, they are part of that city. They know, they understand what the city is, what the issues are. And the native knows that I am serving my people. Their best interest lies with me. When you are voting for somebody that came from another province, they don't know what your situation is. They came for a job in Johannesburg, or in Gauteng, in eThekwini, in Gqeberha, in Mangaung, all these Polokwane, you name them. These are the mindsets that we need to shift. We need to shift these mindsets because we are not being served, because the people that are serving us, they are not from there. So these are the things that I keep saying. I know many people don't like it, but tough. You will grow. Other than that, guys, I don't know what your thoughts are, but the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, Marius van der Merwe, is on you guys. Because witness protection, whatever it is that was said, I didn't understand it. Just close to gibberish. Anyways, I'll leave this video right here, and I hope you guys will sit and ponder that you are going to have these discussions amongst yourselves, so that you are served at the end of the day. Let me leave it here. I thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And sorry about the exposure. Scattered clouds once again. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.